reach for your phone, but the urge to check the score, it's just gone. And something's different. Not the room, not the weather, not some external miracle. It's you. Your body doesn't feel heavy anymore. Your mind isn't racing with doubt. And that goal you've been chasing for months, it's not a fantasy anymore. It's inevitable. See, you didn't manifest it by wishing harder. You didn't pray more. You didn't stare at a vision board until your eyes watered. You hacked the structure of reality itself. Here's what nobody tells you about manifestation. It's not about energy. It's not about vibration. It's not about believing hard enough. Reality responds to one thing: structure. Your current life? It's not random. It's not bad luck. It's a structure you built without knowing it. Think of it like a dam built out of all your habits, your nervous system, your identity, your daily patterns. They're all engineered to keep your success flow exactly where it is right now. And here's the quantum trick. If you want to change your reality, you don't need to fight harder. You need to redesign the structure. Make success easier than failure. Make the new reality inevitable. And there's a protocol for that. It's called the 21-day lock protocol. And in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. Specifically, I'm giving you the 1-minute exercise you must do every night to trick your nervous system. No fluff, no theory, no spiritual BS that sounds good but changes nothing. Just the engineered system that makes your nervous system accept the new reality as normal. As you. Because here's the thing, your brain doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about what's familiar, what's safe, what matches your current identity. Right now, your identity is structured for your current life, your current bank account, your current relationships, your current body. And every time you try to change, your nervous system hits the brakes. It's the biological version of your phone running out of battery at 10% because it can't handle the new update. Not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because the new reality feels like stress, like danger, like something that threatens your survival. So what do most people do? They try to force it. They use willpower. They repeat affirmations in the mirror. They visualize for 5 minutes and wonder why nothing changes. And it doesn't work. Because you're fighting biology. You're fighting the structure you already built. But what if you could redesign that structure? What if you could make your nervous system see the goal as normal, as familiar, as the path of least resistance? That's the inevitability engine. And it starts with understanding one quantum truth. I'm going to prove it to you in the next section with a 5-second thought experiment. You are not which you think you are. Your personality, your identity. It's just a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious thoughts. And those patterns, they create your personal reality. So if you keep thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, doing the same actions, you're going to keep getting the same life. Not because the universe doesn't hear you, but because you keep broadcasting the same signal. Here's where it gets wild. Your body? It's your subconscious mind. It's been programmed by everything you've done up until now. Every habit, every failure, every moment you gave up. And that programming runs on autopilot, 24/7, whether you're aware of it or not. So when you set a big goal, when you say, I'm going to be wealthy, or I'm going to be confident, or I'm going to be different, think about that gym membership you bought in January. Your body says, no, you're not, because IT doesn't recognize that person. That's not you. That's not familiar. That's not safe. So it sabotages you. It makes you tired. It makes you anxious. It makes you quit. But here's the hack. You can reprogram the body. You can redesign the identity. You can lock in a new normal. And it takes exactly 21 days. Not because 21 is a magic number, but because that's how long it takes to shift the nervous system from resistance to acceptance. All right, let's break down the 21-day lock protocol. This isn't theory. This isn't manifestation folklore. This is engineered identity redesign. It's the 3-phase system that makes success easier than breathing. Each phase targets a different part of your nervous system. Each phase builds on the last. Want the ultimate payoff? By day 21, the new you isn't a goal anymore. It's just who you are. Phase 1, days 1 through 7, the win log. Here's what you do. Every single day, immediately after you complete a targeted action, you write it down. Think of this as feeding your brain verifiable facts, not fairy tales, not in some fancy journal, not with perfect handwriting. Just one line. Date, task, effort rating 1 to 10. That's it. Now here's why this works. Your brain runs on stories. The bad news? It's currently telling the I give up story. But the win log, it gives you proof. It's like showing your nervous system the security camera footage of your success. Objective, undeniable, data-based proof. You're not hoping you're disciplined. You're not believing you're disciplined. You have proof you're disciplined. And here's the quantum shift. When your identity changes from I hope I can to I have evidence that I do, resistance collapses. Phase 2, days 8 through 14, friction removal. Now that you've got consistency, you're going to optimize. See, most people fail because their good habit has too many steps. Imagine trying to start your car, but you have to solve a puzzle first. That's friction. So in phase 2, you do the opposite. You find the one point of friction that drains your energy, and you remove it. Maybe it's staging your tools the night before. Maybe it's simplifying the process. Maybe it's just eliminating one distraction. Because here's the truth. Success isn't about working harder. It's about making success the path of least resistance. When the desired action becomes easier than the old pattern, your nervous system stops fighting. It surrenders. And that's when the magic happens. Phase 3, days 15 through 21. Add scale. Now listen carefully. This is where most people blow it. They get excited, they feel momentum, and they try to triple their effort overnight. This is the point where you want to quit. Don't. Their nervous system says, whoa, this is stress. This is danger. Shut it down. So here's the rule. You only scale by 10 to 20%, not 50, not double. 10 to 20%. Maybe it's one more rep. Maybe it's 5 more minutes. Maybe it's just a slightly higher intensity. The goal isn't to shock the system. The goal is to make the system see the scaled effort as normal. Because by day 21, your body doesn't recognize the old you anymore. The new behavior, the new discipline, the new identity, that's just baseline now. That's just you. Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds too simple. Where's the secret? Where's the visualization? Where's the energy work? And that's exactly the problem. You've been conditioned to think manifestation needs to be complicated, mystical, hard to access. But the scientists, the neuroscientists, the people studying how the brain actually works, they'll tell you the same thing. Change happens through repetition, through proof, through making the nervous system feel safe with the new identity. That's it. No cosmic alignment, no perfect moon phase, no waiting for the universe to give you a sign. You build the structure, you log the proof, you remove the friction, you scale gradually. And on day 21, you wake up as a different person. But here's where it gets really powerful. The 21-day lock protocol, that's the foundation. But there's a second layer, a hack that works while you're asleep, while your conscious mind is offline and your subconscious is wide open. It's called Hypnagogic Programming. And if you do it right, you're rewriting your belief system in the 10 minutes before you fall asleep. Here's how it works. There's a window, a very specific window between waking and sleeping. Scientists call it the hypnagogic state. It's the loophole in your brain's security system. And in that state, your brain is in theta, your critical mind. The part that says that's impossible or you can't do that. It's offline, which means your subconscious is receptive, wide open, ready to absorb new information without resistance. So here's what you do. Before bed, you pick one specific outcome, one goal, not 10, not 5, 1. Then you lie down and you start tapping. If you've never seen EFT, picture yourself gently tapping specific acupressure points. EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique. You tap specific points on your body while repeating a focused affirmation tied to that goal. The tapping, it reduces pre-sleep stress. It calms the nervous system. It signals to your body, we're safe, we can let go. And as you drift into that hypnagogic window, as your brain slips into theta. The affirmation sinks deep, past the conscious gatekeepers, past the doubt, past the old programming, straight into the subconscious operating system. Now here's why this is a game changer. During the day, you're running the 21-day protocol. You're building proof. You're removing friction. You're scaling gradually. But at night, you're reprogramming the beliefs that were blocking you in the first place. The belief that you're not worthy. The belief that success isn't for people like you. The belief that you always fail. Those beliefs, they were installed when you were in a suggestible state, probably as a kid, probably when someone told you something that stuck. So now, you're using the same mechanism to install new beliefs, empowering ones, true ones. Now, let's talk about the real problem with manifestation. It's not that you don't know what to do, it's that you don't do it. You set the intention, you feel inspired, you commit to change. Think of that expensive course you bought and never finished. And then, life happens. You get tired, you get distracted, you hit resistance, and the gap between knowing and doing. That gap swallows your dreams whole. This is called the intention-action gap, and it's the graveyard of every goal you've ever abandoned. But here's the hack. What if you could automate the action? What if you could program your brain to execute without needing willpower? This is how athletes and surgeons train to perform under pressure. This is where implementation intentions come in, and they're backed by decades of cognitive science. Here's how it works. Instead of saying, I'm going to meditate more or I'm going to exercise, you create an if-then plan. If situation X happens, then I will do action Y. That's it. But here's why it's powerful. When you link a specific trigger to a specific action, you're creating a neural pathway. You're installing a mental macro. You're telling your brain, when this happens, we automatically do that. No decision fatigue, no negotiating with yourself. No should I or shouldn't I. The trigger fires. The action follows. Automatic. Let me give you an example. Bad intention. I'm going to network more. That's vague. That's weak. Your brain has no idea what to do with that. Implementation. Intention. Think of your biggest procrastination trigger. Now create this. If I sit on the couch after work, then I will immediately send one professional email before opening social media. See the difference? The trigger is specific. The couch after work. The action is specific. One email before social media. And your brain? It knows what to do. The moment you sit down, the automation kicks in. Now here's where it gets nuclear. You can stack implementation intentions with your 21-day protocol. Phase 1, win log. If I complete my target action, then I immediately write one line in my win log before doing anything else. Phase 2, friction removal. If I notice resistance, then I identify one point of friction and remove it within 5 minutes. Phase 3, scaling. If I finish my baseline effort, then I add exactly 10% more before I stop. You're not relying on motivation anymore. You're not hoping you'll follow through. You've automated the system. And listen, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds robotic. Where's the magic? I get it. It's not as exciting as crystal healing, but that's the trap. You've been sold this idea that manifestation should feel a certain way, that it should be mystical, emotional, cosmic. But the people who actually get results, they treat it like engineering. They design the system. They automate the actions. They remove the variables that depend on mood or motivation. Because here's the truth. Feelings are fuel, but structure is the engine. You can feel inspired all you want, but if the structure isn't there, if the automation isn't there, you're gonna stall out the moment life gets hard. Now let's go even deeper. Everything I've shown you so far, the 21-day protocol, hypnagogic programming, implementation intentions, those work for individual goals. But what if your goal is bigger than you? What if you need a team, a community? The only problem is, most teams are just collections of individuals set up to fail. That's why you need collective implementation intentions, and they're the most underused manifestation hack in existence. Here's the concept. When you form a group goal, when you're working with other people toward a shared outcome, you can create WE plans. If our team hits obstacle X, then we will all execute response Y together. And research shows this is insanely effective, because now you're not just accountable to yourself, you're accountable to the group. And the group, they're watching, they're invested, they're counting on you. That psychological pressure, that social proof, it eliminates the option to quit. Here's how you build it. Step 1. Define the collective goal. Make it measurable. Make it clear. We intend to launch the business by March 15th. Step 2. Identify the shared trigger. What's the obstacle you're all going to face if a team member expresses doubt or burnout? Step 3. Form the collective response. Then we will immediately share 3 past wins in the group chat and schedule a 15-minute support call. Now the system is locked. The moment someone hits resistance, the group activates. Think of it like a safety net made of willpower. The collective structure holds everyone up. And here's the quantum trick. When you're part of a WE plan, when you're locked into a collective intention, your individual nervous system starts responding to the group's momentum. You're not just drawing on your willpower, you're drawing on theirs. You're not just relying on your belief, you're riding their certainty. And that collective energy, it amplifies everything. Your goals stop being your problem, they become our mission. So let me bring this all together. You've got the 21-day lock protocol running during the day, building proof, removing friction, scaling gradually. You've got hypnagogic programming running at night, reprogramming beliefs while you sleep. You've got implementation intentions automating your actions, eliminating the intention-action gap. And if your goal is big E, if it requires other people, you've got collective implementation intentions creating an unstoppable group structure. This isn't manifestation anymore. This is reality engineering. You've redesigned your structure. You've reprogrammed your beliefs. You've automated your actions. You've linked your nervous system to something bigger than yourself. Now comes the final lock. This is the step that guarantees you never slide back to your old self again. It transforms everything you've built, from a working system into a permanent identity. Here's the truth. Change isn't hard because you lack desire. It's hard because your old self keeps trying to come back. It's a virus in your system. It waits for moments of stress, when you're tired and vulnerable. That's when the old structure tries to reinstall itself. So the final lock isn't about pushing harder. It's about making sure the old code can never boot again. How? By creating the no return condition. Ask yourself right now, what is my emergency exit? This is the moment where you publicly, emotionally, or physically seal your new identity. It's not a wish. It's not an affirmation. It's a declaration that burns the bridge behind you. Think of the explorers who burned their ships after reaching new land. The ships were gone. No backup plan. No retreat. That's the final lock. When you remove the escape routes to your old reality, your nervous system has only one option left: survival as the new you. Step 1. Choose a single symbolic act that represents the point of no return. I want you to pick the one object or account that represents your escape. Delete the backup plan. Announce your commitment publicly. Throw away the safety net. Step 2. Anchor it emotionally. Say it out loud. Write it. Record it. Feel it in your body as truth. Step 3. Close the loop. Review your win log from day 1. See the undeniable evidence of transformation. And say the words, "It's locked." When doubt creeps in, you don't fight it. You simply repeat it. It's locked. That phrase becomes your trigger, your nervous system's final command. By this point, the old self can't survive in your system. The neural loops are rewritten. The emotional charge is gone. The structure has changed at the deepest level. You don't need to try anymore. You simply operate. You move. You create. You execute. Because that's who you are now. But there's still one more layer, the one that makes things start going your way constantly. It turns you into a magnet for events that match your new frequency. It's not luck. It's not energy. It's about resonance. And when you understand it, you'll realize reality was never random. It was responsive. It was always waiting for you to become the right structure.